I prayed for this and it happened.
You all thought that Valva Fraud is just the show doesn't know what to do with Valvarod or Spanner. Really depends how you want to call him. Doesn't matter. For fuck's sake, that was a great episode. I wish I just had Blazer next to it because, oh boy, you don't want to hear my opinions about King Gotchard. Well, we finally discovered what happened to Spanner and Kyoka 10 years ago. Well, before that, I kind of want to weirdly sidetrack on a very specific thing. Remember when the three Dark Sisters' entire goal for the first arc is getting the Gotchard driver and with it unlocking, the door of darkness? Well, Gion can just make it appear, which kind of make their entire conquest slightly meaningless, or he can just summon it without actually having the key, which makes it slightly dumber. But in the midst of that chaos, after Gion pretty much used an alchemy technique, I don't know, it's probably my subs saying it's alchemy technique because there is no fucking way making everybody forget, or at least make everybody believe that Fuga was a traitor is an alchemy technique. Spanner's parents tried to stop Gion, but they kind of died in front of young Spanner. How much I really found it funny that the show kind of tried to make us believe that his parents were just on a mission, which is kind of insulting the intelligence of your audience. Come on, even like a 12-year-old would see the app for the first time and just say, oh, his parents are dead. Wow. Like, that wasn't very much a surprise. And weirdly, the most fucked up about this entire situation is Kyoka deciding to erase Spanner's memories. Mainly because if he would remember that, he would lose control of his alchemy powers, which are like actual alchemy powers, specifically like creating shit, but also black flame, because weirdly now flames are a part of the fucking show's themes. It's like, for fuck's sake, just stick to one theme. But I did really like seeing Kyoka actually kind of nurture young Spanner to the adult that he is today. And it's really interesting that literally she told Spanner in this episode that she taught him the virtues that literally created the armor that he wears today. But the problem is that armor actually makes him weaker, almost saying like Valvarod is not that strong. It's almost like suppressing his actual alchemy powers. Again, I wish that the show would have touched on that slightly before, but we are getting something really cool with it. And I love how the show continues to do so many great things with Gion as a villain. How much the three Dark Sisters, specifically Atropis, kind of lost a lot of their kind of aura. Gion is a really sadistic and interesting villain, with him just reviving Spanner's parents just to kill them off in front of him again, to make him fully unleash his black flame powers, that if he would get consumed by them, he can transform into a Kamen Rider. And that scene was amazing, specifically on Spanner's parts, really showing the desperation, literally screaming for help, that felt so much out of character in that moment, but also so weirdly good, because it's very much showing that Spanner is a human, and when he's literally backed into a wall, he would try to ask for help. And you can clearly see he slightly sees both Hotoro and Rene as way more above him power scale wise now. And that's really cool. Again, I actually fucking loved it. And just seeing Gion just laughing about this entire thing was so cool. At the same time, I am fully in mind with my theory that Minato is just playing the part, because he is clearly kind of like, that's kind of fucked. I don't like this. This is way too much for me. And it's so interesting. He literally toes the line, but he still kind of continues to kind of like be the bad guy for a bit. And the moment that Mad Wheel and Spanner fused was so cool. Seeing the Valvarad suit transform into the Mad Wheel amalgam was so cool. And I still remember when Kyoka specifically talked about Spanner not connecting with his tools, and Spanner pulled out the Mad Wheel Chemi card, and the Mad Wheel Chemi card kind of like looked away and didn't really want to talk to him. Was like really cool, because it's almost like the Mad Wheel Chemi finally gets to understand Spanner, and Spanner maybe would get to understand the Mad Wheel Chemi. How much, to be completely honest, knowing how he's going to transform into a Kamen Rider is going to be very interesting moving forward, because like I don't get how, you know, Mad Wheel Chemi just transformed to Maha Wheel. And oh my god, that suit is so cool. I absolutely love that amalgam suit. Having literally the faceplate of Valvarad be a part of the monster suit is so cool. I just straight up loved how this episode handled Spanner. Like mainly Spanner, because Spanner is amazing now. Oh my god, Spanner is not Valve Fraud anymore, because this episode did way more for Spanner since the episode that kind of focused on him, at least for the last time, what it was, like episode 6 or 7. I think it was slightly after Ant Wrestler. It's been at least 10 forms ago, and even before the crossover movie with Geats. Yeah, it shows that Spanner as a character, he carries a lot of baggage that from time to time, specifically and at least before this episode, he didn't even remember. And he's not just a rival character, and he's finally stepping out of that shadow of like he's the rival character. No, he's a character onto his own. He doesn't need to be a buffer or a chaser, because here's the thing, if you put him in that role, that's a problem. And also it's like, for fuck's sake, Buffer barely did anything with Geats, while Chaser was really fucking good, but it's not really fair. That's Drive for you. Yeah, this episode was amazing. Like, it's so amazing, it gets an A. So, what you all thought about Gotchard episode 20? Comment below, let me know. Thank you very much for watching this video. Subscribe to my channel if you already didn't. Thank you very much, and have a great rest of your day.